Greetings, loved ones.
If you're watching this video, you're probably a reader with non-reader friends and family who never know what to get you for birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries. Every year you end up with copious amounts of bookmarks, gift cards to Barnes & Noble, an ACOTAR box set, when you never once said you even liked Sarah J. Maas. They just kind of looked up what do readers want this day and age, and capitalism just threw ACOTAR at you. It's not your fault. They just don't know. I'm here to help your non-reader family and friends get better at gift giving for you. I have compiled this video for you that is an ultimate gift guide of unique gifts that bookish lovers like you and I would be so happy to receive. So you can send this to your non-reader friends and your non-reader families and give them a hint. Give them a little slap up the side of the head. Give them a helping hand so they know exactly what to gift you no matter the occasion. This video is going to be addressed to the friends and family. I'm going to be talking to them. It's our moment to really figure out the best idea for you. But by all means, stick around if you want to so you can decide what things on this list you would actually want and compile your own personalized, customized list to send out to the people. Alright, now I'm talking to your friends and family. Friends and family of readers, come. Don't be scared. Come to the front. Come to the front. It's not your fault. You're not a reader. It's not your fault that you looked up what books readers are into and you didn't specify and they just gave you the ACOTAR box set. It's not your fault that you didn't know she was racist. It's not your fault that you didn't know that her books hold homophobic themes. It's not your fault that you think every reader uses bookmarks and you don't realize that some of us are feral and we just doggy ear the pages because we can't keep track of a bookmark. It's not your fault that you didn't know that independent bookstores have gift cards as well, just like Barnes & Noble, but helping an independent bookstore is helping a small business and that's the better route to go. You didn't know that. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm your guide on the Bookish gift giving tour. I'm also going to add links into the description below so everything's going to be super easy to find. I'm going to try to talk about prices as much as I can because it does vary depending on where you're buying it from. I have examples of some of the things I've been gifted that I really enjoy physically to show you. Anything that I don't have physically, I'm going to put a screenshot, but this is going to be so comprehensive. This is all you need. This is quite literally the only video you need to know what you should buy for that reader in your life. So without further ado, let us ado to the gift guide. Okay. So there are some things that I think you can first figure out about the reader in your life before you start the gift giving process. And the first thing that we need to figure out is what kinds of books do they read? And this can be multiple different sections. So we're going to figure out if they mostly read ebooks, if they're mostly reading audiobooks, if they're mostly reading physical books. We're figuring out what kinds of books they like in terms of genres. So like, do they like fantasy? Do they like romance? Do they like nonfiction? Are they memoirs? Are they comic books? Are they manga? You're going to figure out all these things about the person that you're gifting to. You're either going to ask their like parents, if you're an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent, or if you are a friend, you're going to go on their social media accounts and you're going to find out what kind of books they're talking about, because a lot of times these people will either have bookish accounts that they follow or their own bookish account that they're talking about books on. Those are good places for you to do research. Another thing you're going to figure out is where they're located. So that is a good place for you to be able to find what bookstores are near them, what bookstores that they usually shop at, if there are indie bookstores near them, whether that indie bookstore has a website, has a social media, so you can figure out what kind of deals they're doing and see if you could possibly buy gifts from them online, or if you could buy a gift card for them to go to that indie bookstore, and so on and so forth. By doing this research, you're able to figure out if they have a favorite book series, or they have a book series that they've been really interested in, or if they have like a fandom that they're really interested in, and it just makes your gifts more personalized and seems like you know them a little better, and actually makes the gift something that they could really use. I've gotten a lot of bookish gifts throughout the years that I can't necessarily use because they're not things that I use regularly. Figuring out those kind of things about the reader that you're trying to buy for is a good starting point. Most of these gifts that I'm going to show you are for a wide generalized reader. You don't need to know specifics to be able to buy these gifts for them, but I think where I got these gifts from, you may be able to distinguish which one of these gifts would be best for the person you're shopping for and which one of these gifts would not be best for the person you're shopping for, the more information that you know about them. This video is going to be bookish items that you should buy for 20+ year olds, not that you should buy for kids. I'm not showing things for like middle grade book lover, although there may be things in here that you'll see that would be good for a middle grade or young adult book lover, but I am 24 years old. So there will be curse words, there will be some things that don't necessarily be great for like a kid who's just reading like Captain Underpants. Just so you know, just to put that disclaimer out there, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, and these are gifts for other adults. Okay, first category is comfy cozy items. So we like to be comfortable and cozy and kind of like build our own little nest, hovel, hole, fort to really like dive into and be comfortable on literally all angles while we're reading. So these are some comfy cozy items that you can buy for the reader in your life. One thing that I have on this list is a book sweatshirt, or like a bookish sweatshirt with some kind of bookish words or quote on it. You could go to Etsy and find so many of them. You're just going to type in book sweatshirt or bookish sweatshirt or something along those lines, and you're just going to find so many options. There's one here that says hot girls read books. So if you're trying to buy for a girl in your family who enjoys reading, that would be a good one. There's also one that's just kind of generic that says bookworm. We have members only antisocial book club. I closed my book to be here. Some that say like one more chapter, or I read past my bedtime. One that just says read more books. Like there's so many options on Etsy that you could find in terms of like bookish sweatshirts that are very just generalized across the board or more specific depending on who you're buying for. There are also some Etsy companies that will allow you to completely customize the bookish sweatshirt. So you can put like different people's favorite books on the sweatshirts. You can put names on their sweatshirts, all these different things that will make it so much more specialized and customized for them. In the same realm of being comfy and cozy, I would recommend a pajama set. I think a pajama set or a sweat set is really cute for readers to just kind of like put on and be able to read their books and just rot in bed. And I think a pajama set makes me feel more comfortable and less guilty about sitting and rotting in bed. I think if a lot of other people are more mentally sound than I am, then being guilty about this won't really even matter. I think a pajama set or a like sweat set is a really cool gift to get for somebody who really enjoys being comfy and cozy and just reading in their bed. This is more on the higher end of pajama sets, but I was gifted a set from this brand called Print Fresh, and they have some of the cutest pajamas in the world. I would definitely recommend sizing up in them because I think the bigger they are, the more comfy and cozy they are. These run usually from around, I think, $100 to like $200-ish. They are quite expensive, but it's a good material. They have really, really nice fabrics and they last for a pretty long time. If you don't want to go on the higher end of those pajama sets, I would highly recommend Old Navy. They have some really good matching pajama sets there as well. Also, another one in the realm of comfy cozy, we could do the blanket hoodie, which is literally exactly what it sounds like. It's a hoodie that's made out of like a blanket material. It's usually super long, has like a hood that's like lined with like Sherpa or some kind of like really soft fleece material, and then it has a really thick big pocket. I think that those are perfect for people who maybe have enough like decorative blankets around their house or around their room, and they're mainly looking for something that's more comfy cozy that they can just kind of like walk around the house or their apartment and really just like rot and feel super comfortable and have all their reading materials on them. I think this is a perfect gift for anyone who is into reading. I think they will literally all be able to get something out of this little comfy cozy thing. It's perfect for road trips, perfect for traveling, perfect for staying in the house. I want one so badly. I want one so badly. I literally want one so badly. They usually range from around like $30 to maybe $54-ish, depending on if you get them like monogrammed or personalized or customized with like names or whatever other designs on it, but usually between $30 and like $55-ish. This next section I'm calling tools, which are just basically things to enhance their reading experience in some way, shape, or form. For this one, it's important to figure out whether the person that you're shopping for reads mostly ebooks on a Kindle or an iPad or on their phone, or if they read mostly physical books, so like actual books that you can hold in your hand, books that you can hold like this, physical books, or if they mostly read audiobooks, so they're mostly reading with their ears, whether with headphones. So the first one is a book light, and this is for people who read physical books mostly, and they usually are reading all into the night. A book light is basically just a clip-on light that you clip on top of the book, and then it curves over the book so that you can see what you're reading. You can see the page without having to have your overhead lights on or your lamp on in case you live with somebody, or if you just don't want to have those on in the middle of the night, you just want to have like a more specialized light. light. That's what the clipped book light is for. The book lights range from around like $9-10-ish to about $25-30, depending on the kind of book light that you're getting. Obviously, you don't need a book light if you're reading on your phone, your iPad, or your Kindle, because it emits its own light. So what I would recommend for people who mostly read ebooks is maybe one of those like Kindle pillows. A Kindle pillow, or at least that's what I'm calling it, is like basically a pillow that has a stand that you can put your Kindle in, and then also has different containers for like juices or like whatever drink you have, and then also a container for different snacks. And it just kind of like makes it to where you don't really have to touch your Kindle, and you can kind of move it to multiple different places with you as you're getting sustenance and moving what else around with you as well. I think this gift would be a dual gift, to where it's the Kindle pillow and then it's also the Kindle clicker, which is basically where you can set your Kindle in wherever place you want to set it, and then just use this clicker to swipe the pages without you having to physically swipe the pages. Now, like I said, book readers like to be comfy, cozy, and very lazy when we're reading, unless you're an annotator, but that's a whole other thing, and I don't want to confuse you. We like to be very lazy and just sit down and read and enjoy what we're doing and not have to move from that one position for a very long period of time. With the Kindle clicker, we don't even have to move our fingers to swipe through the electronic device. So this is also another part where it's good to figure out whether someone has a Kindle, whether they read on their phone, or whether they read on their iPad, to see if the clicker would even be a good option for them, or if they just need the pillow to where they can have something resting on their lap and reading and snacks and other things around them. The Kindle clicker ranges from around $9 or $10 to $25, depends on the brand that you go with and the type of clicker that you use. But if you've done some research on the kind of reader that you're buying for, you'll be able to decide which cost is the best for you. The next tool that I would recommend is some kind of book bag, and I don't mean like a book bag like a backpack, but I mean like a bag that is specifically for books or fits books and has different components that are for readers. I have a whole video, which was one of my first YouTube videos that I ever posted on here, that's just a bunch of regular bags that fit books really well and regular purses that fit books really well, but there are also bags that specifically fit books and specifically fit Kindles. I have this bag from Out of Print, which is a Bookish merch brand, and it is like a tote bag that has a zipper in it, and then it also has this really big pouch inside of it that you can fit some kind of like hardcover book in it. Out of Print has other bags as well, like this tote bag that looks like a library card. I think this would be really good for anyone in your family who primarily shops at the library. Out of Print's bags range from around like $22 to $45, depending on what kind of bag you're looking for. If the reader that you're shopping for has an indie bookstore near them, or if you have an indie bookstore near you, a lot of indie bookstores also do sell tote bags that have the indie bookstore's logo on them or some kind of other logos on them as well. So I would definitely recommend heading to the indie bookstore near you and looking to see what tote bags they might have, to see if it might be of interest for the reader in your life. If you can't find anything at the indie bookstore, then I would recommend going to Out of Print, because they have a really big catalog of Bookish bags that I think are really cute, versatile, and actually useful for readers around the world. Another tool that I would recommend for readers is a knitted book sleeve. Now, I say knitted just because I think that the knitted ones and the crocheted ones are just so much more unique, and I think they have like a little bit more character, and I personally would really love to receive a book sleeve that's knitted and or crocheted. I also think a knitted or crocheted book sleeve would be good if you're the crafter friend and they're the reader friend, because it's something that you can make from heart, which makes it a little bit more sentimental. If you are not a crafter in any way, shape, or form, there are crafters on Etsy who are creating their own knitted or crocheted book sleeves that you could buy from the website. There's also book sleeves that aren't knitted or aren't crocheted. I think the ones that aren't knitted last a little bit longer because it's more of a durable material. Those are also going to be a little cheaper. There's different kinds of book sleeves as well, so you can find a Kindle sleeve that's specifically for Kindles, or a book sleeve that's specifically for physical books. Also, the ones that aren't knitted usually have a slot in the front of them that you could fit your Kindle in, and then a bigger pocket that you can fit your full book in. But that just depends on the type of reader that you are shopping for. The book sleeves range from around $10 for the ones that aren't knitted or crocheted to around $35-40 for the ones that are knitted or crocheted. But you can see that the ones that are actually crocheted from crafters show a lot more personality and feel a lot more, what's the word? I don't know, just I like them. I think they're cute, and I think it would be really cute if they opened up a little gift and there was like a little knitted crochet sleeve. I think it'd be so cute. I'm sorry, I think it'd be so so cute. This section is going to be called For the Love of Reading, because it really doesn't matter what kind of reader you are. It's just about loving being a part of a bookish community and just loving being a reader in general, just celebrating being a reader. So it's a lot of like materialistic things that I think just show the outside world that this person really loves reading. One of the easiest things that I think to buy a bookish person is going to be candles. They are so simple to get, and you can usually tell what kind of scents somebody would like. If you don't know what kind of scents that somebody would like, most of the bookish candles have some kind of like category or name of them, so it literally tells you the type of reader to buy these things for. One brand that I really enjoy their bookish candles is called A Scent Story, and they have a bunch of bookish candles with different names and like bookish attitudes and titles on them. So this one that I have here says Polygamous Reader, Literary Multitaskers. These readers will never settle down with just one book. They're the ones juggling 3 novels, a memoir, and a book of poetry all at once, and somehow never confuse a plot twist. However, I don't read memoirs and I don't really read poetry, so it would really just be a fantasy, a romance, and then like a Kindle Unlimited werewolf romance all at once, and I keep all the plots in order, okay? Every single time. And then another one from A Scent Story that I have, this one and a few others in this line are really just like ideas, like just celebrating being a reader in general. So this one says reading is self-care. They all smell so good. I think this one is like amber musk, maybe, possibly. A Scent Story's candles range from around like $10 to $15 to around $20 to $25, depending on the size of candles you get and from which line you're getting candles from. So candles are a really good place to start with bookish gifts. Another thing that you really can't go wrong with is going to be a bookish mug. I just feel like bookish mugs are really good because everyone loves a good like hot chocolate, coffee, hot chai. Like I just think mugs are so versatile. You could put like soup in there, you could put ice cream in there, you could put oatmeal, you could put snacks that you could just eat out of so you have a handle. Mugs are just perfect. And I have this mug that I got from Strand Bookstore, which is a bookstore based I think in New York City. It says "fuck off, I'm reading," and that's just really genuinely how I feel every time I open a book. It's like, please, so astronomically, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible, fuck off. There's definitely some more tame kind of mugs out there. There's a whole bunch of them on Etsy. They're kind of ranging from around like $10-ish to probably around like $35-ish, depending on the kind of mug that you're buying and whether or not it is customized in some way, shape, or form. Another good gift to get for readers who just love reading and just want to celebrate the fact that they really love reading would just be a coloring book, specifically a bookish coloring book. So some kind of coloring book that is like very book focused or just like cozy in its aesthetic. I have one here from Pippi Post called A Coloring Book for Book Lovers, and it's literally exactly what it says. It's just a simple coloring book for people who love books. So each page has something cozy and comfy and just amazing that's like in the bookish space. Super simple coloring options for people who maybe listen to audiobooks and want something to do with their hands while they're listening to audiobooks. I just think it's the celebration of being a book lover. For coloring books, the price is going to range from around $10 to maybe $15, depending on the coloring book that you are buying. A really good place to get them is from local bookstores. So Books A Million has some good ones. There are brands like this brand Pippi Post that has some on their websites and also through Etsy. Next category is books. I know this whole video is books, but what I mean is this one is if you know the person that you're buying for, if you know their favorite book, if you know their favorite kinds of books, if you know more about them that's more specified into the types of books that they like, then I think it's safe to try to buy them books or something related to the kinds of books that they like, as opposed to being like super generalized. So these are going to be very hyper specific. The first thing that I would recommend is some kind of like bookish jewelry. My best friend got me these earrings with my favorite book on them, like I think last Christmas or the Christmas before, and it's literally just the cover of the indie copy of the book, and she got them from Etsy. There are so many bookish jewelry makers on Etsy. I think that is the perfect place that you're going to be able to find more personalized jewelry, and there's some people that only focus on specific books and specific authors. But if the person you're shopping for doesn't have like a super popular book as their favorite book, or the book that is their favorite book is a little bit more niche, there are a bunch of crafters and businesses on Etsy that do allow you to send in what their favorite book is, and then they'll personalize some kind of jewelry for them. Another thing, for if you know what a person's favorite book is, you could try to get them a special edition of their favorite book. There are a lot of places where you can buy special editions of books. A lot of these places do only have the special editions out for a certain limited amount of time, and they may possibly have overflow. So this option is a little harder to do because you kind of have to get in at certain places. It's kind of like concert tickets or like limited edition clothing or shoes where you have to get in at a certain time to be able to get them. However, there are some people who are reselling special editions online, or some businesses that may have special editions just kind of like left over from their first limited edition run. So I think if you know what a person's favorite book is, or one of their favorite books, trying to find a special edition for them would be really cool and fun. The special editions can range anywhere from around $35, $40 to anywhere upwards of $200, $300, $400. It really does depend on how limited edition that special edition was, or how much people are trying to scam you and resell them for you. You have to be very careful because there are people out there that will scam you for the price of the book, and it should definitely not be that much. I would highly recommend first going to these different special edition websites and seeing if they have any overflow that they are currently selling. Some of my favorites would be Rainbow Crate, Illuma Crate, Satisfiction Book Box, Cover Snob. Bookish boxes like that will usually have some kind of special edition overflow that you can go to their website and try to shop. If the person that you're shopping for's favorite book is not in any of these websites, you're gonna have to brave the secondhand book shopping world. Now, that is only if you're really dead set on buying a special edition book. If you are not dead set on buying a special edition book, I would just find another gift as opposed to diving into the reselling world, because it can get super scary and freaky over there. But if you're gonna do that, if you are gonna dive into the world, I would say probably maybe check out Pango Books, which is a reselling website where a lot of people resell books, and you can usually do enough research on there to see if the price that someone is offering at is like the normal price that you're gonna try to find it at, or if they just kind of like jacked up the price because they feel like people like you aren't gonna do your research. Here I am trying to tell you to do your research because I love you and I want you to succeed. Lip gloss break. Lip gloss break. Okay, another gift for if you really know the person that you're shopping for and you know the kind of books that they're interested in would be buying them a subscription to a book box that they've either been waiting to be a part of, or a book box that you think that they would be super interested in. Some of these subscriptions do have a wait list, so I would recommend signing them up for the wait list and then giving them in cash the cost of that subscription for 3 months. I say 3 months because they're able to try it out for 3 months to see if they really like it, and also figure out a budget for how they are going to keep it going after the fact. And also I would say cash, because I think when you deposit it into their account, it could be spent on other things that they don't know is coming out of their account. They can put the cash aside for when they're actually ready to pay for the subscription when they do get off of the wait list. And also not a gift card, because some of these things are reoccurring payments and they will not take a gift card. Some of my favorite subscription boxes are the ones that I mentioned for the special edition books. So one of my favorite ones is Satisfiction Book Box, because they also include a bunch of self-care items in the box with the special edition book. It is also a BIPOC woman-owned company, and all the authors that they work with are BIPOC and write sci-fi, fantasy, or thriller. Also, all the companies for the skincare items that they offer are also BIPOC-owned companies. That's the only one that I currently use, but I have also used Illuma Crate, and I really enjoyed my time with that. That is mostly for sci-fi and fantasy lovers. My mutuals also recommend Feminist Book Club and Rainbow Crate as good subscription boxes, so I would definitely check those out as well. Another gift that you could try, if you're a crafty person and you know the reader that you're buying for's favorite book, I would recommend maybe bedazzling a copy of their favorite book so that they can have it as like a shelf trophy. I've been seeing this go around a lot on TikTok and Pinterest of people just going to Michael's, getting a bedazzled kit and getting the colors that are the same as the cover of whatever book that they're bedazzling, and then just kind of like spending a little time time bedazzling the cover of the book for them and then gifting it to people. You can just go to any bookstore or secondhand bookshop or indie bookstore and try to find a copy of the book for them and then figure out what colors you need and go on from there. I just think as a crafter, that would be such a sentimental gift to give to your reader friend or reader family member that I think that they would cherish for a really long time. Another thing for if you really know the reader that you're shopping for, if they are an audiobook reader, I would recommend giving them a Libro FM subscription for probably about a year. Libro FM is basically the same thing as Audible, where you can listen to audiobooks and buy audiobooks and get like a monthly credit for them. However, when you buy your subscription through Libro FM or when you buy audiobooks through Libro FM, your audio purchases are going towards supporting indie bookstores as opposed to supporting Jeff Bezos. It's a really good alternative to Audible and it's supporting small businesses, so I would highly recommend buying a subscription for any of the audiobook lovers in your life, because I think that it would be really fun and cool if they were able to try it out on your dime as a gift. And the last thing that I recommend for someone who you really know their bookish taste is tickets to some kind of bookish festival or convention, or what's the other word for it? Fair. These usually go on sale at specific times, and you may not be able to find a lot of them on sale during the holidays or at this specific point in time. Maybe giving them like some kind of IOU that's like, hey, whenever you see this bookish convention or whatever bookish convention that you're interested in going live, that the tickets are going live, send it to me and I'll make sure to buy you a ticket and buy you maybe your hotel stay while you're there or an airplane ticket to get there, or so on and so forth, and just kind of like make it more of an experience for them. Speaking of experiences, this is my last section. I know I've given you guys so many bookish ideas. Really, honestly, truly, you're so freaking welcome. And I'm almost done. This is the last section that I have for you, and this one is experiences. This is how to make it more of a thing that you guys are kind of doing together, or a thing that they can actually physically feel like automatic gratification from. The first thing that I would say is an indie bookstore 60-second challenge. Most people do this in regular like chain bookstores, where you get 60 seconds to go pick up as many books as you can, or as many books as you can fit in your little basket, and get back to the person who has the timer, and they're gonna buy all those books that you were able to pick up in that time frame. You can adjust the time frame however you want it to be, if you want to give them more time or less time, although that would be very cruel to give them less time, in my personal opinion. But the reason I say to do this in an indie bookstore is because indie bookstores are smaller, and I know indie bookstore like workers would probably get a really big kick out of it and probably like really join in on the fun with you guys. I think it's also a little less daunting to film this in an indie bookstore than it is to film it in like a chain bookstore if anyone's like shy or a little more introverted. Basically, it's just a challenge where you're giving somebody a certain amount of time to go pick up as many books as they can in that time, and you'll buy them all the books that they're able to pick up in that time. Another experience is just giving them some kind of gift card to their favorite indie bookstore and taking them there and letting them pick out as many books as they want, and then taking them out to coffee or lunch or dinner and letting them explain what the books are to you and why they're excited about these certain kinds of books. I think even though bookish people are super introverted and we usually like to spend our time not talking to anyone and just really diving into books, it's also so fun to be able to talk about books with other people and people actually listen to you instead of just like drowning you out and just not really paying attention to what you're talking about. So I think really building like a bookish day around them and giving them space to go shop and really indulge in what they truly love without any kind of fear or anxiety of being a burden is so magical. Like, I don't think you genuinely understand how amazing that is for bookish people. It's also a lot simpler than like trying to come up with a specific specialized gift for them by just giving them kind of free reign to just be themselves, and you're just providing the funds. You're just going to be the wallet for the day. I'm sorry, I know that's a little bit diminishing to you and your personality, but it's what you got to do for their happiness. So that's basically all I've got for bookish gifts that I think would be really great for a lot of the book lovers in your life. There's definitely so many other things out there and you could definitely get creative with it, but I hope that this gives you a good starting point to kind of figure out what kind of questions you need to ask to be able to buy the best gifts, where to buy the best gifts, how much they're usually going to cost, and so on and so forth. Please go ahead and comment below any gifts that you've gotten that you really loved, if you're a reader that you would recommend for other people to buy others, or if you have any questions for what type of reader that you are shopping for and any more specific specialized books that you would recommend for them. I'm pretty sure that people in the comments would love to answer those for you, and I'll answer as many as I can. Like and subscribe, because I have so many like lifestyle videos and just like videos of bookish content that may help you learn a little bit more about the reader in your life and just how they are a reader, but they're also a person, and not all readers use bookmarks, baby. Anyways, that's all I've got. Bye!